Since the dawn of time, humanity has grappled with the mysteries of life and death. The eternal questions of what lies beyond our mortal existence have haunted our thoughts and inspired countless myths, legends, and spiritual practices. From the earliest cave paintings to the grandest religious texts, the human fascination with the afterlife is a testament to our desire to understand the unknown. The veil separating the living from the dead has always beckoned, promising forbidden knowledge and power. This thin, almost imperceptible barrier has been the subject of endless speculation and fear. Many believe that beyond this veil lies a realm of spirits, a place where the souls of the departed reside, holding secrets that could change the course of the living world. Necromancy, the art of communicating with the dead, emerges from this primordial desire to pierce the veil and converse with those who have crossed over. This ancient practice, shrouded in mystery and often feared, has been a part of human culture for millennia. Practitioners of necromancy sought to gain insight, power, and sometimes even control over the spirits they summoned. They believed that the dead could provide answers to the living, offering guidance, prophecy, and even retribution. This essay delves into the shadowy world of ancient necromancy, exploring its manifestations across various cultures and its enduring hold on the human psyche. We will journey through time and space, uncovering the rituals, beliefs, and practices that define this dark art. From the crypts of ancient civilizations to the hidden chambers of secret societies, necromancy has left an indelible mark on history. From the shadowed temples of Greece to the sun-baked deserts of Egypt, necromantic practices wove their way into the fabric of ancient societies. These cultures, each with their unique beliefs and rituals, shared a common thread: the desire to connect with the dead. In Greece, necromancers would visit oracles and perform elaborate ceremonies to summon spirits. In Egypt, the dead were revered and their tombs filled with spells and offerings to ensure their safe passage to the afterlife. Driven by a potent blend of fear and fascination, people sought to harness the power of the dead for various purposes, to divine the future, seek guidance, or even curse their enemies. The rituals were often complex and dangerous, requiring precise knowledge and unwavering faith. The necromancer's tools included ancient talismans, sacred texts, and powerful incantations, all designed to bridge the gap between the living and the dead. Through rituals, incantations, and offerings, they attempted to bridge the chasm between worlds and tap into the secrets held by the departed. These ceremonies were often conducted in secluded locations, away from prying eyes and under the cover of darkness. The necromancer would draw intricate symbols, light sacred fires, and chant ancient spells, all in an effort to summon the spirits and gain their favor. Join us as we journey through time, exploring the beliefs and practices surrounding necromancy in ancient Greece, where the dead were consulted for wisdom and prophecy. The Greeks believed that the spirits of the dead could provide valuable insights into the future and the will of the gods. Necromancers would often visit sacred sites, such as the Oracle of Delphi, to perform their rituals and seek guidance from the beyond. Rome, Egypt, Babylon, Assyria, Israel, and Africa. Each of these ancient civilizations had their own unique approach to necromancy, reflecting their cultural beliefs and values. In Rome, necromancers were often associated with the underworld and the god Pluto. In Babylon, they used complex rituals to summon spirits and seek their counsel. In Assyria, necromancy was intertwined with astrology and divination. In Israel, it was both practiced and condemned, reflecting the complex relationship between religion and magic. In Africa, tribal necromantic practices were deeply rooted in ancestral worship and the belief in the power of the spirits. We will uncover the rituals, sacred texts, and common themes that define this ancient art, shedding light on its enduring allure and the profound impact it has had on human history. By examining the artifacts, texts, and art left behind by these ancient cultures, we can gain a deeper understanding of their beliefs and the role necromancy played in their societies. This exploration will reveal not only the dark and mysterious aspects of necromancy, but also its significance as a window into the human soul and our eternal quest for knowledge and power. In ancient Greece, the realm of the dead, ruled by the god Hades, held both terror and allure. The underworld was a place of mystery, where the souls of the departed resided, and it was believed that the living could, under certain circumstances, communicate with these spirits. This belief gave rise to the practice of necromancy, a dark art that sought to bridge the gap between the living and the dead. Necromancy, known as Nekromanteion, was a clandestine practice shrouded in secrecy and danger. Practitioners of this dark art were often viewed with suspicion and fear, as they were believed to possess the power to summon and control the spirits of the dead. These necromancers operated in the shadows, conducting their rituals away from the prying eyes of society. Those who dared to venture into this forbidden territory sought knowledge, power, and even vengeance from beyond the grave. They believed that the spirits of the dead held secrets that could be used to influence the living world, whether it was to gain insight into the future, seek revenge on an enemy, or uncover hidden truths. The motivations behind necromancy were as varied as the individuals who practiced it. One of the most famous sites associated with Greek necromancy is the Nekromanteion, a temple complex dedicated to Hades and Persephone located in ancient Epirus. This temple was believed to be a gateway to the underworld, where the veil between the living and the dead was at its thinnest. Pilgrims would travel from far and wide to seek the counsel of the spirits, hoping to gain answers to their most pressing questions. Here, it was believed that the veil between the worlds was thin, allowing skilled practitioners to communicate with the dead. The rituals performed at the Nekromanteion were elaborate and often involved a combination of chanting, offerings, and the use of special artifacts designed to facilitate contact with the spirit world. Rituals involved animal sacrifices, libations, and complex incantations. These offerings were believed to appease the spirits and make them more willing to communicate with the living. The necromancers would recite ancient spells and incantations, calling upon the spirits to reveal their secrets. The necromancer, often cloaked in black and adorned with deathly symbols, would descend into a subterranean chamber, entering a trance-like state to commune with the spirits. This descent into the underworld was both literal and symbolic, representing the necromancer's journey into the realm of the dead. The answers received, often cryptic and ambiguous, were believed to hold the key to unlocking hidden truths and influencing the course of fate. These messages from the dead were interpreted by the necromancer, who would then relay them to those seeking guidance. The ambiguity of these messages often added to their mystique, leaving much to the interpretation of the seeker. Roman necromancy, influenced by Greek traditions, also flourished, particularly during times of unrest and uncertainty. The Romans, like the Greeks, believed in the power of the spirits and sought to harness this power for their own purposes. Necromancy became a tool for those seeking to gain an advantage in the turbulent political and social landscape of ancient Rome. Roman emperors, generals, and commoners alike sought the counsel of oracles and necromancers, hoping to gain an advantage in battles, political intrigues, or matters of the heart. The practice of necromancy was seen as a way to gain insight into the future and make informed decisions in times of crisis. However, necromancy remained a double-edged sword, feared for its potential to disrupt the natural order and unleash malevolent forces. The power to summon the dead came with great risk, and those who practiced necromancy often faced dire consequences if they failed to control the spirits they summoned. The fear of these malevolent forces added to the mystique and danger surrounding the practice of necromancy in both ancient Greece and Rome. In the land of pharaohs, death was not an end, but a transition to another realm. The ancient Egyptians believed in the afterlife's intricate workings, and necromancy played a significant role in their funerary rituals and beliefs. Mummification, the elaborate process of preserving the body, was seen as essential for the soul's survival in the afterlife. The Book of the Dead, a collection of spells and incantations, served as a guide for the deceased's journey through the underworld. These spells aimed to protect the soul from malevolent spirits, navigate treacherous landscapes, and ultimately achieve immortality in the presence of Osiris, the god of the underworld. Egyptian necromancers, often priests or skilled magicians, possessed the knowledge to communicate with the dead and influence their journey in the afterlife. They performed rituals using amulets, offerings, and potent words of power to appease the spirits, seek their guidance, or even curse their enemies. Necromancy in Egyptian society was a complex interplay of beliefs, rituals, and magic, deeply intertwined with their understanding of life, death, and the cosmos. In the ancient civilizations of Mesopotamia, necromancy held a prominent place in religious and magical practices. These practices were deeply intertwined with the cultural and spiritual fabric of Babylon and Assyria, where the boundaries between the living and the dead were often blurred. The Babylonians and Assyrians, renowned for their advanced knowledge of astronomy, mathematics, and divination, believed that the dead possessed potent knowledge and could influence the affairs of the living. This belief was not merely a superstition, but a sophisticated system of thought that integrated their understanding of the cosmos and the human soul. Necromantic rituals were often performed by priests known as Ashipu or Baru, who acted as intermediaries between the living and the dead. These priests were highly respected figures in society, entrusted with the delicate task of communicating with the spirit world. These rituals involved elaborate preparations, including sacrifices, libations, and the use of magical circles and incantations. The process was meticulous, requiring precise knowledge of sacred texts and rituals to ensure the correct summoning of spirits. The necromancer would enter a trance-like state, summoning the spirit of the deceased into a vessel or the body of a sacrificed animal. This trance state was achieved through various means, including chanting, meditation, and the use of psychoactive substances. Divination, the art of seeking knowledge of the future or the unknown, was closely linked to necromancy in Babylonian and Assyrian cultures. The tools used for divination were often the same as those used in necromantic rituals, blurring the lines between these two practices. The spirits of the dead were seen as valuable sources of information, capable of revealing hidden truths, predicting future events, and even guiding rulers in matters of war and governance. This guidance was sought not only in times of crisis, but also in everyday decision-making, reflecting the deep trust placed in the wisdom of the deceased. However, necromancy was also feared for its potential to unleash malevolent forces and disrupt the delicate balance between the living and the dead. The power to summon spirits came with great responsibility, and any misstep could result in dire consequences, both for the necromancer and the community at large. This duality of necromancy, its potential for both enlightenment and destruction, made it a powerful yet perilous practice in ancient Mesopotamian societies.